Of here. Okay, we're about to be live on YouTube, and here we go. Hello, welcome to another episode
Hey guys.
of This Is Our Year. Is this our first recording of the new year, Douglas?
It's not, but we've been doing like once a month. I was thinking, and hello everybody. Hello, Mike. I was thinking maybe this is the kickoff of season 3. You know, the February is just such a post Super Bowl is just such a like I didn't want to think about sports. I don't know about you. I think you were the same.
I think we
didn't.
We were in agreement, which is why we didn't do a show.
Yeah,
and I know
like we barely talk to each other. There's nothing to talk about. Yeah,
no. And all you fans out there, we're sorry. You know, all.
Oh, I know. Sorry, we left you hanging. And
yes.
Hello, Dad. Thanks for watching. And hey, yeah, like, did you want to do an emergency show about Kodai Senga getting hurt? Not me. So anyway,
no.
It is a beautiful day here in Connecticut. It is officially full spring. It is like 60 degrees and sunny. I'm going to drag my common law wife out right after this show, and we're going to drink beers outside. But no, why not start off today?
Where are you drinking beers at, though? Before you tell us what you're drinking now, where are you going to drink beers in the good old Connecticut?
Well, since I am 45, I also have errands to run, and there's a nice CVS down on Bedford Street. So I figure I hit up the CVS, and then actually
Metamucil.
Yeah. Blood pressure medication, all the good stuff.
Yay!
No, there's a you remember Stanford. So there's a traffic light where like Teguin and like Capriccio is. Remember that? Like coming up Bedford the one way. There's that traffic light
right by your old apartment, right?
Yeah, but like the light before it, right before the movie theater. If you take a left, there's that another street, back alley there. It was like the back of Temple. A new bar apparently opened up, and the thing with this one is apparently you just get a card, and then you you have these. I think I've been to one in LA with you, but you basically pour them yourself. Do you have any thoughts on those kind of bars? You ever been to one? Or?
Yeah, I've been to a couple like that. It's not my like go to, but I mean, if it has outdoor, you know, you can pour your own and go outside and you can just enjoy what you're doing. Go for it.
I don't know about that, but
it's great
because it's tight. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going in a little skeptical. I would hate to imagine a world without bartenders.
Yeah,
so I hope this isn't some shitty Silicon Valley disruption thing. It's just like a novelty. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's a novelty. We went once, and it was like, yeah, you can pour your own, and then you buy. I can't remember how it works. Like, if you pre-buy it on your card, or and then you use the card, and then like it pours the exact amount. So like, let's say you pour 11 ounces and you have 1 ounce left, you'll be able to go back and get your 12th ounce if you bought 12 ounces. I don't know, dude. To your point, like I like bartenders because I'm old now and I want to sit at the bar and I don't want to talk to a robot. I want to talk to a bartender and watch the WNBA while it's on in February. So,
yeah, exactly. Like whatever's on. And this rush just to replace everybody with fucking bots. Excuse me. Let's not go down that path. But anyway, yeah, dude, it's a beautiful day. I forgot to pimp the beer here. Yeah. Once I get this map up behind me, guess what state's coming off? It's a big one. Big by area. No, big by area. Oh, yes. Connecticut is pretty big. Yes. Did I already show you that?
No, but
I don't think you would have known that. Jeremiah Johnson Brewing Company. This is a Citra IPA brewed in Montana. I think the Mets have a prospect named Jeremiah Johnson or something like that. Jeremiah Jackson. Yeah.
Jeremy.
Nice. Jeremy.
Yeah. That's the guy we traded the fucking pitcher we said. That was the one move last year, even though we sucked last year. Like we signed, what was his name? Like Dominic
Leone. That's right.
Leone. Signed him off the scrap heap and then we
got a prospect.
We got this guy who's, you know, is an older prospect, but he's got some power, you know, maybe turns into something
decent glove. I actually saw him, like he was on base when the 5 minutes I watched the Mets already this year. What was I going to say? Anyway, it's good beer. And
And you're drinking at 11:59. Now it is now noon. So I
That's
guess
right. It's that kind of beautiful day.
okay. Well then
So
let's get
cheers
to
to that,
this. Let's
everybody.
get cheers. I'm drinking my fucking morning goop shit because I had way too many alcoholic beverages last night. You know what I had for the first time in a long time last night, and it's still not good, but it also shows that I'm 40, about to be 45 years old. Went to go see a concert. Bro, I mean, this is how out of the game I am. I'll paint the picture.
So we're all here.
Me and the
It's
wife,
a safe space,
and we got my buddy Todd and his lady are in town, and we both like Badfish, right? So Badfish is playing at House of Blues in Anaheim. Great little venue up in Anaheim, right by Disney. If you've never been, and so we get tickets. Doors open at 7. I'm like, okay, cool. Doors open at 7. Badfish will go on at fucking 8:30, maybe 9, and then they'll be done by 10:30, right? Because it's still a family friendly area. So we have dinner at 6. We're done by like 7:15. We get there, and we have like VIP tickets, whatever. And I walk up to the guy, and I'm like, "So what time does I'm like, "Who are the openers, and what time does Badfish go on?" And he's like, he tells me these 2 openers. One had already almost finished playing. The opener was Greaves. Have you ever heard of Greaves?
No.
It's like a Macklemore Eminem fucking mashup, atmosphere mashup. But I guess he wasn't bad, but he's like a white hip hop guy. He was okay.
Moving on. I mean, as I wear the Beastie Boys shirt.
Yeah, he was okay. Though. He had energy, man. I will say that. Like, he was definitely like, he had some energy, but some of his songs were dark, and I'm like, okay, this seems very Eminem atmosphere-ish.
Yeah.
And some of his songs are uplifting and about getting high, and I'm like, I don't know who I would compare.
Pills.
No, smoke. It was all about smoking weed.
Oh,
I mean, Badfish too, right? So, and then. But anyway, the guys like Badfish comes on at 10 and they're playing a 90-minute set. And I'm like,
hell yeah, they are.
I'm like, cool. I haven't, tried to stay up past 10 in a really long time. So we go in and my wife's immediately like, I can't make it till 11:30. And
yeah, like, it's a tough ask for Jenny when I drag her to concerts. So we go once a year now.
She's like, I can't make it. Same. She's like, I can't make it till 11:30, and I'm like, all right, baby, And she wasn't drinking, so she was like, just take the car and go home whenever you want to go, And my buddy and his lady, they had a flight this morning at like right now, and they were both like, we'll stick around and we'll see a little bit of Badfish because he likes Badfish, I like Badfish, but I'm pretty sure his lady could have given 2 shits about Badfish, right? And so,
hold on, are they like just Sublime covers, or are they like they write originals too? I don't remember. I've heard them.
So they are just Sublime. They, up until last night, in my history of Badfish, have always been a 20-year long running best Sublime cover band that I've ever seen. I mean, they play it better than
Rome.
Yeah, well, they don't
like the real thing with Rome.
Rome doesn't play the old music; he plays his music, right? So
I heard Rome do an old set. It was.
I've never.
He's got the Bradley shit down.
Yeah, every time I've seen him recently, they're always doing their shit, which is still good stuff. It's not bad. It's just not. Badfish to me, it does a really good job, and so they.
We are so 90s talking about Sublime.
I know, dude. And so they're fucking that was the crazy thing, man. So I'm sitting out there and I'm like, these they introduced their first ever written song, to answer your question, and it was called "I Want to Get High with You." I'm like, okay,
that's original.
Yeah, like, okay, but I guess, and it was
right.
It was
what
man. It was all right, but they do a good job. But I remember seeing them like 15 years ago when they were like up and coming, premier Sublime cover band, and now they are the premier Sublime cover band, and like they were all in their mid-20s when I saw them the first time, just like me, and now they're fucking in their early mid-40s, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're getting old. And I had an RBV last night for the first time in like I don't know how long. RBV, Red Bull Vodka.
Oh God.
And it's just as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
It did the trick. I made it till 11 and everyone bailed. I was there by myself and I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is good, but like, I'm 45. It's 11 o'clock and I should just I should just leave a little early, leave in the 7th inning before the end of the concert so I can get the fuck out of here. So that's what I did.
I have that experience at concerts a lot, and you know me, I'm a huge music nerd, but like a lot of times I'll be at a show and I'm like, I can't wait until this is a good memory. Like I already like want to go home. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
something about standing around with thousands and thousands of people sometimes when you're drunk or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is cool, but okay,
I can't do the pit. I can't do the pit anymore. And like,
no, I stay away from the pit. I mean, that's for the kids, as it should be.
Yeah, and there was definitely a fucking mosh pit last night, and I was like,
nice.
Oh, I'm so happy I'm not in that. And I was like, when do you mosh at Sublime? I don't know.
But, I think of them as like Pepper and Dirty Heads. It's kind of like, you don't know them?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah. It's white boy reggae stuff.
Yeah, that's the SoCal surfer reggae bullshit.
It's what we grew up with in the 90s. All those parties, man. So
it's still good though. And
sorry, not sorry.
Still my go-to when I'm listening to music is something like that.
And what's been cool for me is I actually have gone back and found a lot of the records that inspired Bradley Nowell, and I have them on rotation sometimes, and it's just really good music. So like Toots and the Maytals and the Meters and all that old school, like
Toots and the Maytals is, I think, my favorite old roots reggae band.
Yeah, remember that you hear the songs, you're like, oh shit, this is on like 40 Ounce to Freedom. Like Bradley covered a bunch of their stuff.
Yep. Yeah, they played it last night. Badfish played some Toots last night too. So
nice.
Come on.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. You know what's not good shit? Why do we follow these loser teams? It's because we're losers, right?
I mean, I thought we announced that initially on introducing ourselves.
Yeah, sometimes
3 years ago.
Yeah, I think I need to. Have we been? Yeah, we have been doing this for 3 years.
Been doing this for 3 years, buddy.
I mean, we've racked up so many Emmys. I kind of forgot.
No, we're about due for our co-host clash where we get to the point where we don't like each other and then we still have to do shows.
Right. Yeah. We're contracted, but we're already working on our solo projects.
And then you're going to have to go do a solo project and I'll have to do one and we'll not reference each other ever for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a reunion episode in 7 years from now and everything will be fine again.
And people on Twitter will try to make us fight.
Right.
But they'll realize
that you're not on.
I don't sign in anymore.
X
off the phone.
Dude,
I'll click on your links if I'm on a computer, but I don't want that dude. I don't want any of those people on my phone. But I say that every episode, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's impossible and inevitable. I mean,
I hate it.
Every time I click on Instagram, they're trying to sell me something that I talked about with someone.
Yep. 2 seconds ago.
All I want to do is look at stupid shit on Instagram. I don't want to look at oh, here's the new testosterone. I'm like, here's the new suit. Here, I'm like, dude, I fucking for sure. I made an appointment to go get measured for a suit because I got a bunch of business travel coming up. March and April, always the biggest business travel.
Same here. May for me.
Yeah, and so we're going to DC. We're going to fucking Nashville.
Yeah,
and I got to have a suit.
I'm going to Dallas.
I can walk around and look presentable. And I went to go, and I'm trying to save some money, right? We're in this budgetary. We have one kid now, and we're trying to be responsible and pay all our bills and not rack up a shit ton of bills type of lifestyle, which is cool. Not really, but I'm trying to do the thing.
Yeah, man.
And so I was gonna go get a nice new suit, and then I was like, you know what? I got this one fucking suit in my closet. I got 3 suits in my closet. Let me see if I can have a tailor come adjust them for me because
the one from your wedding was sick.
I don't want to wear my wedding suit, so I just kind of leave that one alone. But I have all these other suits, 3 business suits, all nice suits. Got fucking tailor comes to the house, measures me. I've put on 2 inches, and some of my suits don't have the capability of letting out 2 inches. So I only had one suit that was able to let out, which is good. I'll take it. I spent $300 to let that and a couple other things out, and it fits, and it'll get me through this season.
Yeah, I've done that
instead of spending $1,500 on one new suit, right? But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, every time I go on fucking social media now, I'm getting like the Lululemon of suits, blah blah blah, and I'm like, man, whatever. It's inevitable.
But it's so stupid. Like, especially when you buy something big, how is the logic to try to sell you another fucking big thing that you just bought? You know what I mean?
I don't think they actually know that you bought it big. I think they're trying to catch you before you make the purchase decision. You know?
That's fine. It's just what all this is surveillance. You nailed it.
Right.
I hope there's some kind of great pushback on this later in this decade. I think people are waking up to it. Maybe not.
Doubtful.
But
it's getting worse and worse and worse.
And these bots, these LLMs, generative AI is just going to flood the internet with more and more shit. There's a dead internet theory that it's just not going to be usable in a few years.
I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, if you're looking for something specific on the internet, I think that is fine because you are typing in where you want to go. But if you're
even that's getting shitty. All the SEO
on Google, I mean, I don't know. I guess when I search on Google, I can find what I want.
It's still fine. I use like DuckDuckGo though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You've always been way more into that shit.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to take us off. You watched the NFL Combine yesterday.
I did.
Any thoughts
about a bunch of AI and bots and fucking shoving shit down your throat?
We had some dude like break through the Matrix yesterday. Fastest 40 ever.
Taylor Swift was actually announcing on the side.
Was she?
No. But we're not far away from there, right? She'll do she's going to do the national anthem for the opening of the Combine because
if they pay her enough.
I mean, I'm sure that if she's smart, she'll do the Super Bowl halftime show next year. Kelsey can't retire because Goodell's like, no, you cannot retire yet.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's not going to happen anyway because Reed's coming back for this year. But I mean, she's got to find a way to like work something out to like capitalize off this. But she's already a billionaire. She's like the biggest star in the world.
Right? No, NFL needs her, not the other way around. By the money and the numbers. But you still ask the NFL to pay you. I forget who it was who set that precedent. Because the NFL used to not pay the halftime performers, and I forget who it was, but it's someone like the last 5 years. Like, no, you pay me, Goodell, for promoting your shit. Right. I want to say it was like Beyonce or somebody, but I might be off.
I don't know. I could.
Oh,
but
Mike,
I will say,
it's first time in season 3. It's about to happen.
Oh, you better drink some Jeremiah Johnson. Get that cat butt. Get that cat butt out here.
Let's get this cat butt out here. Come on, buddy. Don't get stage fright now.
There we go.
Look at that side of beef. You're a glorified squirrel. Get out of here.
Is that Tommy?
Yeah, that's Tommy.
Tommy the cat.
Yeah, Tommy's a little skinny.
It's all right.
All right.
So, yes, the Combine was yesterday. And nobody cares about the linemen and the fucking, linebackers. And, everyone wants to see the 40-yard dash and the QB throws. And, if you're really a nerd, you want to see like vertical jumps and you want to see like broad jumps to see how athletic the 3-cone drills, things of that nature.
Do they televise them doing the Wonderlic test? I'm sure that's scintillating.
I don't think that
filling out their
probably be like some sort of like there would be some heavy pushback on that, right? Because they don't, oh my god, you can see Caleb Williams over there sweating. Is he treating?
Yeah, exactly.
God. Right.
That doesn't even look like Marvin Harrison Jr. Who is that? In the Ohio State hoodie.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. So it was pretty interesting though. I watched a little bit of it, but Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas, broke 40-yard dash.
No, he's got the headlines today.
Common era 40-yard dash, 4.21. And dude,
the immortal John Ross has been dethroned.
Well, that's what gives you a little pause when you're thinking from a fantasy perspective.
But hey, man, it's March 4th. We got nothing to go on here.
Nothing to talk about, Doug. So we're talking about a 4.21.
A guy who ran really fast in a straight line.
Did you see the highlight of it though? Did you watch?
I saw like
1 second.
I saw like a GIF of it in the thing.
I mean, you couldn't even dedicate the whole 4.21 seconds. You only could give it like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah.
I was scrolling the athletic newsletter and I saw a little GIF of him running and I kept going.
Yeah, there's
that's how I prep for the show.
I mean, there's nothing to prep for, right? What are we talking
No.
about? We talk about the shitty ass
I
Islanders.
have written down every single word I've uttered today. What are you talking about? This is going perfectly.
to a T, to the plan.
Yes.
Dude, so yeah, the guy ran really fast. It looked like he was on speed skates. I mean, he ran
Really?
He ran, yeah, it was quite, and I think if he had like dreadlocks, and I just was curious if he didn't have dreadlocks, do you think he could have done 4.20 like that? You know, because there was like some wind, you know, they were flapping back and forth.
Sure,
and there was some like wind resistance there, so I'm wondering if that saved like a tenth of a second, and he could have shattered the record by 0.2 instead of 0.1.
So we drafted him third, fourth.
Oh, he'll go. He definitely will go first round of DFS.
In the NFL draft, I mean, of course.
Oh yeah, I think he'll sneak into the first round. That's like a guy I could see going to the Chiefs now, and with the 32nd.
Oh, of course. No, and I was kidding around about like overall, but yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that'll buy you the hype. But like, I see we're already doing the thing where we're talking shit about quarterbacks that have been, high profile for a while.
They're just overanalyzed, and there's like prospect fatigue.
And we need to all think about what happened with CJ Stroud last year. Or I do that. I'm obsessed with it because you mentioned our fantasy draft. I didn't even consider him.
I mean, me neither. And I definitely passed on him. I traded out of the first round to get Kenneth Walker, but I gave up the 5th pick overall, which in hindsight could have been easily used on CJ Stroud. I somehow ended up with Bryce Young, which is probably.
Oh wait, that was waivers. Yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah, that was off. Well, obviously, because he was.
It might as well. Yeah.
Performance of a number one.
Yeah, people are talking like he's already done. It was that bad of a year, huh?
It was a bad year, but you can't write the kid. I've never liked Bryce Young because he's too small. And if you're
now we talked about this a lot. Yeah.
If you're gonna be the best comparison I can see from him in the NFL is Hurts, right? Because I think he's a better pure passer than Hurts. I think Hurts is a way better runner than him, but he
doesn't have that dog in him that Hurts does so far.
But also, I mean, the Panthers owner is a fucking psychopath. I mean, we all
it's a mess down there. They gave him nothing.
They gave him nothing. They hired Frank Reich, which I don't think was a terrible hire, but you didn't bring in like anything to to.
It's what the Jets do to quarterbacks. Like, here you go, kid. Here's Allen Lazard.
The same offensive line that got our last 3 quarterbacks killed, and here's a dog shit receiver that is.
Also, we traded the best running back in the world last year. Sorry. The Panthers.
Yes. Yeah. For not even a first round pick. Craziness, right?
A lot of bad teams out there. I guess we don't root for them all.
No, but we can talk. We want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals or the Diamondbacks, or which Arizona team do you want?
Yeah, we haven't mentioned the Coyotes yet. This actually, someone was joking. I don't want to steer this to the Islanders real quick, but God, Anders Lee contract burial in Arizona. It's just, oh, look at that! You're wearing the captain's jersey. That was a pretty good win last night.
I had to do it for the win that you watched. You kept me.
They've actually won 3 in a row. After, of course, we buried them for like the 6th time this year. Just in time for the deadline. Just in time for Lou.
How many points out are we from the playoffs?
So 5 points out of 3rd with 2 games in hand. If you want to get
so we're not dead.
Excited. The wild card is worse though. The wild card is like 5 or 6 and no games in hand or something. It's not good. No. They need to have another 3-0 week, I think, before we get excited. But the problem is, what's Friday?
The deadline.
So much damage can be done the next 5-6 days. And we were joking last night. We were going to say, Lou, Patty, whoever the fuck is in charge here, anyone with term, if teams are asking about him, get him out. Sell him, right?
Right.
Rebuild your system, man. It's the worst in hockey.
Right.
They were ranked bottom 32 by the Athletic.
There's nobody because we trade.
They got Danny Nelson, nothing.
Yeah, and he's still in juniors, right? Like
Yeah.
he played on Team USA under 18s. I actually randomly watched the Team USA versus Team, I think Canada, and he
Oh,
was on
cool.
the second line center.
He's a
So
decent
yeah,
prospect, but
yeah, I
like
don't think
back to it.
he's
Oh, go ahead.
terrible. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think he's
but
terrible, but
he
he's
would
not
be
even in the
top
system yet.
10 in any other system, maybe.
Right.
And
He's
he's
not
like our
terrible,
number one.
but like he's our number one prospect. Yes, it's
Ouch.
bad.
This June it'll be 5 years since the Islanders made a first round pick.
So was Simon Holmstrom our last first round pick?
2019, and
he's playing. He's playing admirably. He's not going to ever be more than probably a third liner, but
he's not.
You need that. You need that. So
by the way, So I actually have a lot to say about the Islanders. I don't know if you want to do it right now. I don't want to lose people.
Let's do it. I mean, Rosen's watching. He wants to talk about Brian Thomas running a 4.34, which also was pretty cool yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, this is great.
Let's pause on the Islanders. So don't go crazy. So the combine's here. We're getting back into the football off season, which is pretty exciting. There's a lot of good. There's supposed to be a great year for wide receivers and offensive linemen, which is good news for both of our teams, right?
It sure looks like it.
Your team needs a wide receiver. My team needs another wide receiver, and we definitely need offensive linemen. I don't know if you guys feel comfortable with your currently constituted offensive line.
It's hard to feel comfortable with Neil, and it's interesting that I've seen the Notre Dame guy discussed at least. Who knows at this point? I'm not ready to start predicting what the Giants are going to do, but
I mean, I think
wide receiver does obviously.
You got to take. You have the 6th or the 5th pick. The 6th, right?
We haven't had a stud receiver since.
So you're probably going to go. The top 3 quarterbacks are most likely going to go 1, 2, 3. Then Harrison will.
Is that the consensus at this point? Again, I'm always the straggler on this shit.
I mean, Fields is pretty much been dealt to Atlanta. They just haven't announced it yet. His agent posted this X clip of the agent screaming to Justin, "You're going home," and Justin jumping around and getting all
good
crazy.
enough.
So we assume that means he's going to Atlanta, right? Which makes a lot of sense.
That'll be fun, man. Bijan, Drake, Justin.
I mean, it's going to be his make or break. He's going to either be the guy that everyone thinks he can be, or he's going to be the bust that he's been so far, right? So let's see.
Run around on that turf, but unfortunately, he gets hurt a lot. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. So Caleb. So that means Caleb's most likely going number 1. Who, however you feel about him, love him or hate him, like he probably would go number 1 in many drafts. It's not like just this one, right?
Right.
And then you got Jaden Daniels, who had a Herculean rise, won the fucking Heisman. He could go 2 or 3. And then you got Drake May, who's the pocket passer. He's kind of like in the Justin Herbert mold. Got a big arm, classic in the pocket, can run a little bit, but has some stuff to work on.
Let's hit pause
in dynamic throws. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, thank you for that breakdown. So let's hit pause on that. 2 of these guys, I feel like we're doing the prospect fatigue thing with, right? Would you agree with that?
With Caleb and May? Yeah, definitely. I mean, the problem now is like he's a very like you either love him or you hate him, right? So he's not. He comes out and he says like very inflammatory things, like whoever drafts me, I want a piece of ownership, and it's like maybe throw a pass in the NFL. like look at Zach Wilson. When you think that someone's going to give him ownership, no, like come on, man. Yeah. And so, he can't. He was walking around, and I will say the kid. He's got some moxie. He was walking around the combine and
Baker Mayfield did this. Manziel did this.
Yeah, kind of being very bravado-ish, and
right.
and a lot of people said he handled himself well, which is good. And Drake May, I think, also has been on radars for 2 years now, and people are starting to pick apart.
He has.
He threw a lot of interceptions. He definitely doesn't have good touch in the middle of the field, like just stuff like that. That hopefully, if you get to all it comes down to, Doug, at the end of the day, is if you get you a good coaching staff.
That's right.
And
landing spots
coached up right. You can. I mean, look at Brock Purdy, dude. Like he got drafted, he was Mr. Irrelevant, and like, is he best quarterback in the NFL? No, but he's a very good quarterback. But if he went to the Jets, probably would have never seen the field.
Or the Giants.
Probably would have been another scrap heap guy, right? So
yep.
like
it's really all about the situation too. Well, not all, but
landing spot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so Caleb's probably going 1. I got to think May's probably going 2 to Washington, and I think, or maybe Daniels, and then whoever's not there, New England's got to take one or the other because they already said they're probably going to get rid of Mac Jones, and Bailey Zappi is not the answer, and unless they sign someone in free agency, because they do have $100 million of cap space. So who knows what the?
I mean, they can redo that entire roster. It's it's going to be fun, man. It seems like Harrison's been like destined for New England for a long time, but I guess that's just board writers.
I mean, I don't know. How do you draft the guy without a QB? Unless they sign someone in free agency.
I kind of agree with you, but you can.
You could.
The Cowboys drafted Irvin before Aikman, I believe.
And I guess. I mean, but I don't think they were up that high. I don't think the Patriots expect to be top 3 in the draft. Kraft isn't going to be okay with that, So,
well, if you take Harrison this year, you might be top 3 in the draft again.
But my point is, he doesn't want to be.
Oh, so he doesn't want to do a 2-year.
Yeah. So if you have another shitty year where you're a top 3 fucking pick, like that this year in New England was like torturous for.
Oh, it's Armageddon for them. You know it, and I don't feel bad. So like,
no, I don't feel bad at all. I mean, Kraft and Belichick have completely fallen off the wheels, and I don't know, man. I think
watch Jared Mayo be a like fucking dynastic coach or something.
We'll see. We'll see. I think they're about to pay the devil for the 30-year run that they just went on.
Let's hope so. Like a New York Islanders kind of thing.
Yes. I think
journey through hell.
And Bob Kraft is not a good person, and
he deserves everything that's not coming to him. Yep.
Yeah, Belichick was not a good person. I think it's hysterical that they're fighting over when to fire unfortunately, the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, Tom Brady, which it pains me to say, but that's now they just, I don't know if you have Hulu, but they're fucking splashing the Dynasty fucking show everywhere. And I'm like, I would rather get, thrown into a pool of hot lava than watch anything like any of these movies that have come out trying to capitalize like the fucking 80 for Brady, like die old ladies and die movies made about Tom Brady.
There's any kind of self-produced documentary, go fuck yourself.
Right.
The only one I allowed was Michael Jordan. That was the only good one.
Fair. Dude, or there's 2, because in Along Came Polly, when Philip Seymour Hoffman was playing Sandy Lyle and he was doing the behind the music. Do you remember this movie?
No. Well, no. I mean, I did. Well, sorry, I do remember the movie. I just wasn't ready for an Along Came Polly reference.
Dude, he's got these 2.
Was that like? I know that was Aniston. Was that Ben Stiller and Bacon or something?
It was Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Baldwin.
No.
Was
Alec
Bacon
Baldwin in that? No, it was Alec Baldwin was in that. Yeah, no, Kevin Bacon's not in it. I don't think. And then Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's like the best friend. And dude, he's the
best friend. Yeah,
he's so fat.
Is that the one where he's playing basketball?
Yes, and he's fucking screaming Kobe the whole time while the guys are filming him. Oh, dude, it's actually a very underrated movie if you want some laughs.
What the fuck does it have to do with the documentary, though? You lost me. Self-produced documentary.
So Philip Seymour Hoffman, his name in the movie, maybe Alec Baldwin's not in it. His name in the movie is
Sandy Lyle.
Sandy Lyle, yes.
Professional golfer.
So Sandy Lyle was a child actor. And it was at that time where they did the behind the scenes the behind the music on VH1, those documentaries back in the late 90s, early.
Yes, sir, I do.
So you got these 2 fucking guys. They got a cameraman and like a boom mic operator following him around. And, he's like, I'm Sandy Lyle. And he's like doing this fucking like local theater. Oh, dude, it's great, dude.
No, man, Sandy Lyle won the 1983 Houston Open in Hartford, Connecticut. No, I swear to God, that's a golfer.
Maybe, but it's also his fucking name in the movie, and they're like, hey,
well, yeah, I obviously have to revisit anything with PSH in it is a treasure. R.I.P.
Yeah, and I think it was also it was. So Alec Baldwin was in this movie, and it was like Deborah Messenger or whatever, and he like
Go Scientology.
He's like, I don't know. Is she a Scientologist?
Yeah, big one.
Oh, no, it's just like her nose. Oh, no. Oh my god. Anyway, we're fucking down a rabbit hole right now.
Good.
So
I'm gonna have some Yonkers Lager.
That sounds great. Cross off New York, Yonkers. Fucking.
You know you missed the Cross County Expressway, man.
Oh, dude, I used to have to go out there because there was a mall out there. What was it called?
Yep. The big one at
Crosshaven Cross Keys Mall or something like that.
You used to work there at you used to work at fucking Abercrombie and Fitch.
I used to work in West Nyack. That was close to Yonkers. Yeah. Fucking, I was the shirtless Zac Efron out front saying, "Welcome to Abercrombie. Come on in."
You were the manager saying, "No blank chicks." Sorry.
Yeah. No, actually, dude, I was there. Did you watch that documentary?
I meant to. I don't think I did.
Oh man. I mean, for most people, it's probably like whatever. But I worked at Abercrombie.
It's real for you.
The whole time that this documentary was put together, and I lived through everything they're talking about.
That was a rough era for everyone.
I mean, there was like definitely some like child pedophilia going on. I didn't live through that. I was just there during the time of that. Mm-hmm. But like their CEO was, he was a gay man that liked to look at, the picture, remember the bags used to be like naked dudes all the time? Like
it was just pecs, like the whole display when you walk by it, right? It was just pecs and titties.
Him and the photographer, dude, they both got in trouble for a little sexual harassment on the boys that were
with the models, because I remember you guys got in trouble for the hiring practices too.
Yeah, so I lived through that. So that's actually why I left Abercrombie, because they told me I needed to rank my fucking employees A through F solely based on their looks, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. And Dude, exactly. And they were like, anyone that was a C or below you, I had to fire. And I was like, I'm not fucking doing it. I was like 22. I was 22 years old. 9/11 had just happened. And you're telling me to fucking rank my employees that are Mike, like college kids.
As a CEO, I'm a little disappointed you didn't think of the dime scale in 2002. 0 to dime.
Dude, and I'll never forget this, dude.
I'm joking. This is horrible. Obviously,
this is horrible,
and this is the shit we grew up with. Like, this was the vibe. Yeah. This is the culture.
So dude, I'm an assistant manager. All of our managers quit like the first week I'm there, so I had to learn how to be a manager on the fly, which was probably normal for that time.
And knowing you in 2001, this was all a bad idea.
And I was also commuting. I was also commuting like 90 minutes each way to work because it was the only job I could get right after 9/11 hempstead. And
hey, we had those sweet Islanders tickets that year, though. That was a fun year.
I would drive from West Nyack to fucking West Hempstead every couple of weeks.
Well, you have to scoop me first, but yeah.
We had to pick A through F, and if they were A or B, you could keep them, and C below you to fire them. And I said, I'm not doing that.
How many Fs did you have? I'm kidding.
I didn't do it. I said I'm not doing that. I mean, we had some Fs for sure, but like they were also the hardest.
They have to work in the stock room.
No, dude, they wanted me to fire them, and I had this girl, and she came in every morning and opened the store every morning, and she was always there, and she did her job. She wasn't like the best looking girl, but that didn't matter to me. She did her fucking job. And they were like, you have to rank everyone A through F. And she specifically called this one girl and was like, she needs to go. And I was like, that's my opener. I'm not fucking, first of all, no, I won't do that, but that's my opener. And I'm not, she does a great job. I'm not firing her. And she was like, my district manager at the time was like, look, I know it's really hard. I was a psychology major. This bitch was like 24 at the time. I was a psychology major. It really messed with me. But if you want to get to district manager, you have to do this. And I was like, I don't want to get to district manager. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to get to district manager. So literally, I stopped my career trajectory at Abercrombie, and I got moved to another store that I had no upward mobility at. And I was like, fuck this place. So I got a new job. But
that was kind of the vibe of the late 90s, early 2000s. Fuck you, I'm hot.
Definitely.
I don't know. That's probably all the 20th century, actually. I think about it.
Yeah, I think it still exists to this day. We're just too old to, know what. Speaking of the Gen Zers, you ready for this one? This is my newest
Someone's actually talking about us. No one remembers us.
No, what is the
it's boomers and millennials.
What is the generation now? Gen Z. We were Gen X, I thought.
Oh, sorry, you said Z.
Yeah, Gen Z is the new kids getting out of college and going into the workplace.
Shit. So, at this point, they might be buying homes. Gen Z,
maybe. No, the millennials are trying to buy homes. Track. They can't. So it goes Gen X, millennial.
The elder Z. Millennials are pushing 40. It's crazy.
Yes, they are. They are 40. They are 40. 82, I think, is the first year. So they are 40.
Yeah.
But so the Gen Zers now are getting into the workplace, and they have a saying that I just became privy to.
Oh no.
And it's called Bare Minimum Mondays. And it's where they don't do any work on Mondays because they don't want to deal with the high anxiety of the first day of the week.
Is this the new quiet quitting, guys? Are we sure this is a thing? I get kind of cranky about generations because people are people, man. But sure, quiet quitting Mondays. Hey, dude, we had Thursday morning hangover club. We had I don't do Friday classes. If you want to go back even further.
Yes, we did. But I wasn't the boss, and I didn't find out about it. Nobody knew that I was having fuck off Friday. I wasn't posterizing it.
Mike, everything is just everything is on fire. I don't blame the kids.
That's true. Good job, Gen Zers. I actually was very impressed that you guys have bare minimum Mondays. And I like it. It was always Friday because we just had to get through the week, so we go to happy hour on Friday, right? Or Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But now, you guys are just like you're coming in slow. You're just like bare minimum Mondays, man. I'm not feeling this whole start to the week thing. Tuesday's my first day of the week. I like it, or I don't like it, but I like it. So we're way down a rabbit hole here, Douglas.
No, but there have been some studies done, and this will never happen here because the United States is out of its mind in terms of work. But there are studies done that for 4-day work weeks are better for everybody, including the bottom line in some industries.
I mean, there's people that have gone to 4-10s, right? Like how they do at hospitals and stuff like that. And
that's a little intense, but it is 3 days off.
I mean, dude, you're telling me you don't work, you haven't in your course of your career done 10-hour days?
I sit in front of a computer and email people. People on their feet on 10-hour nursing shifts is way different. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's intense. I admire all docs and medical professionals. Oh God, this beer's making me weird.
Yes. Can we get back to sports here?
Yes.
Or at least along Camp Holly. Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, that's the so anyway, is that the worst athletic performance on film? It's up there, right? All the Kobe stuff.
I mean, it was but it's fucking hilarious, dude.
How does it compare to Michael J. Fox's Wolf basketball dribbling?
I mean, he wolfed out. He was like fucking the all-star 5'3" wolf.
Actually, I'm sorry. The part where he's not a wolf at the end, where he's looking at the ball, dribbling.
I mean,
that reminds me of some of the worst acting sports. I don't know if you can think of any.
But he also surfed on top of a van. So
I mean, that's not that hard. We'll say no more.
When you're driving around the park at 3 miles an hour, it's not that hard. But he was driving down a main street. Man. It was a main street.
God, I almost killed somebody when I was a teenager.
Thank God you didn't. Thank God you didn't. Well, yeah, man. So let's get back to it. Let's go. Giants. What are we thinking? Wide receiver? I think wide receiver. You'll probably have.
It certainly makes sense, but if they get crazy and trade up for a quarterback, wow. It could be fun.
I don't think that's crazy. I think it's a calculated risk. Josh keeps posting that the next 2 years or 2025's quarterback class doesn't look great. I don't know. I think it's too early because a year ago we weren't talking about Jaden Daniels, and now
we weren't. But we were talking about May and Williams though.
We were. But so you had 2 guys, and now you have 3. And then if you look at the rest of this class, there's a bunch of guys that are going to be 2nd and 3rd round picks too. So it's not.
Oh, there are, yeah.
It's not
Bonix and Penix. Speaking of 45-year-old medications,
yes, and and Spencer Rattler, and the kid, I don't know, this kid Joe Milton yesterday threw like a 90-yard pass in the air, so everyone's all excited about him. And the kid from Tulane has got a pretty decent grasp on whatever, so people are excited about him. And then JJ McCarthy, although he had a terrible day at the combine yesterday, and
don't do it, Giants. That is such a Giants pick. JJ McCarthy way too high.
Yeah, I don't.
I know. It's just like such a
Gettleman's gone. Gettleman's gone. So I think you got a guy in there that's probably going to
JJ at like.
Where are we picking? Odunze is 7? There though.
Yeah,
or Malik
go get him.
You're going to go get him, and that's.
No. The offense needs it because they have some effective like little receivers. Right. Let's bring in that stud.
Right, and I mean, Daniel Jones has to have someone to throw to for the next 12 games they play.
Shut up. that was a low blow, man.
I mean, dude, let's talk about the Jets. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's been like the season ended and like here we fucking go again. Like, no, we're gonna make
season ended in September.
Yeah, we're gonna make no significant changes to the coaching and fucking front office. And we got like half of our offensive
deal with the devil
left. Half of our fucking front office assistant GMs left. We got Mecole Hardman coming out and fucking, the fucking asshole. Of course, the asshole that we fucking traded for like nothing catches the winning Super Bowl pass, right? And that asshole now is going on every show because if he didn't catch that pass, nobody would have fucking been talking about this jerk off for.
Didn't he like fumble before in the game too? Like he had quite the night.
I don't know. He didn't play a lot of snaps, but he caught the winning touchdown, so he's forever.
I know, dude. I remember Mario Manningham and Maud Bradshaw on the Tonight Show. I mean, that comes with it. Bet you hadn't thought of Mario Manningham in a while.
I haven't. I had him in fantasy. He never quite got to.
He wasn't. Yeah.
We thought
he would come through, obviously, but he was like Ruben Randall. They're supposed to be game breakers, and they
never were. No.
So yeah, dude, Odunze would be. It's
Odunze would be great
and fun, man. It would be great to finally have a big target.
Another guy, note from the combine. This guy fucking walked off the field and did a backflip like mid walking off the field. So he's got some athletic abilities.
All these guys are coming out like mutants now. Like they're just like they're Thai kickboxers or just acrobats and gymnasts.
But they know what they're like.
They all know Krav Maga. Like, so
I feel like it's when we were growing up and the combine was happening, like some kids got coaches to like work on their 40 time or whatever.
Right.
Some kids just did it on their own ability, but now like they're trained from high school to work on all these things. So it's not like they just finished the Senior Bowl and then they're like working on their 40 time and they're working on their fucking three cone shuttle or whatever.
They've been doing this shit.
They've been doing this for like their whole lives now. So that's why we're seeing like these mutants now, because this is what they've been training to do forever. They're not
crazy.
Just, like, really good at football and they play and then they go to school, whatever. NIL has changed everything. Like, dude, high school, like you're in Connecticut. So like we never saw this. Like high school football's whatever, like people, care about it, but it's not like
even college up here, obviously.
The Northeast for college football too, but out here on the West Coast, it's fucking like Texas, dude. Like they start them in high school, man. And so like my little brother-in-law, he's been playing. He played at Newport Harbor High, and like there's been some kids that have come out of there that are in college now and have gone on to the NFL. Like I want to say the starting quarterback for Cal this year is from played at his high school a year or two ago. So like they're
big
not
program.
They're not scrubs, right? These kids are fucking big kids, and like their team is okay. They won states 2 years ago, but like there's teams that they play that are like fucking like the kid that just transferred to Boise State. What's his name? His name's like Malachi. He went to Los Alamitos, which is in his division. Like it's crazy out here. Like they have their own drill position coach. Like it's a whole
I've heard that
scene, dude. Yeah, it's a whole fucking
I had an Uber driver once who's like my son is going to UCLA, and he was absolutely through the roof. He like couldn't stop talking about it. He's like, I'm sorry, but my son just got a scholarship. So
cool. That's so cool.
I think of Texas, Florida, and California. They're the hotbeds, right? Obviously.
I mean, you can fucking play all year round.
Yeah.
They don't play all year round here, but you
you can train all year round.
You can train all year round, and all the best training places are here. Like I used to work out at this gym, and the strength and conditioning coach from CDM high school was also a trainer at the gym I was at. And he would have these guys coming in the off season, and they were just working on these like explosive whatever. But anyway,
and they're all like crazy. 17. Yeah.
Like 15, dude, like fucking 15 years old. Their parents are just like, getting them in. Because if you get in, dude, if you can get into the NFL.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just impossible odds, but obviously we're seeing the kids who made it, and it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
As as long as you don't go overboard and start treating them like pieces of meat. But
right. So I'm excited. This is a good year for. We'll end with the draft bullshit here for now. This is a good year for offensive linemen and wide receivers.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it in the next few months.
Yeah,
no worries.
I'm looking forward to it from a Jet standpoint because I'm curious to see because we're all in on the next year or two.
Yeah, here we are again, both of us top 10.
Right.
Good to see you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited from a fantasy dynasty perspective. I think there's a lot of
that'll be fun too.
Like the last 2 years drafts were not as exciting to me, and maybe I wasn't as engaged. 2 years ago, there wasn't a lot of great players, and then last year,
I think drafting Sky Moore in the first round, you just have to says it all.
Yeah, but you're still fucking relevant every year.
No, this year looks fun. So let's go Mets.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much. I've been reading all the articles. Senga goes down. He's frozen until like April 1st, and then he'll start a throwing program. We'll see where he goes from there.
That sounds like a June 1, July 1, right?
Right. So, and we're not signing anyone, and like, I don't.
For now.
I think I finally.
I wouldn't mind Lorenzen.
We're not going to sign anyone, Doug, because we have to pay 110% on
Justin
top
and Max.
every dollar.
Justin and Max.
So I don't. We're just going to roll with. We're going to roll with all of the internal guys and see what we have because we need a year to evaluate who we have in this system and who's who and what's what. They want to see Mike Vassell. They want to see Christian Scott. They want to see McGill with his new splitter.
I want to see. I don't know about McGill, but sure.
They want to see Buto and Lucchesi. They want to see if Severino can bounce back. I mean, Manea. They want to see all these guys. They want to see Vientos and Beatty, and they don't want to have the pressure. That's what I'm really starting to understand.
Who do you want that we didn't get
at this point? I mean. I think Jordan Montgomery would be
I think we agree.
Solid pick because he's so durable and
we have to build for more than this year.
Right. But I don't want to have to pay 110% on every dollar that we sign him for. So
you're cutting the check?
I know. But
no, I know.
It doesn't, for them, they need to clear the books so that they can reset the books for next year. When all this money's coming off, and then they can go hard after some pitchers.
Absolutely.
And I understand it. They're not going to say it out loud, but that's what they're doing. And so they've been kind of alluding to it for the whole offseason. And I didn't believe them.
No, we're in agreement.
We thought Cohen was going to just say,
fuck No, I believed him. I have a question for you though.
Sure.
During the season, in season, and we have quite the logjam of bat prospects coming up. Do you see them making like they have the cards and the resources to make a move during the season to pick up someone? Do you see that?
I don't know, man.
Or do you think everything is on hold till next off season?
I think in reality they want to get Quintana off the books. They want to get Marte off the books. They want to get fucking Narvaez.
This is year 3 of 4 for Marte, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
They want to get Narvaez. That doesn't mean that they can't trade him somewhere, So I think we're going to be very cautious this year, and I don't think we're going to. Even if we're like close to a wild card spot, I don't think we're going to push in. I think we're going to probably just simmer, unless
I'm talking about and not like a pending UFA, right?
Right.
But I mean, one of those like in-season trades where you get a big frontline pitcher that has a couple of years. This team is dying for that.
I mean, if we can get a frontline pitcher and we don't have to like, I guess they're these prospects that who cares,
If you have
right?
to give up like Parada
Parada can
uh
go.
and like Mauricio.
Fine, not a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, like,
The only one that I really want, the two that I really want to see right now are Drew Gilbert, because I think he's going to replace
I think
Marte.
he's untouchable, and Jet is as well. And
Yeah,
Acuna,
exactly.
I don't think I would trade Acuna
I
either.
would trade Acuna
I
if the
might,
right
but
person came
again,
along.
for someone who has
Yeah,
control,
I'm not. I mean, not for some bullshit, but if
would you
like
trade like an Acuna for a Dylan Cease?
if I mean he's got what, another year left
I forget.
under
I want to say
control.
2.
We need. I mean, we need more control because it needs to fit into
That's
the
what I'm
window
talking about. Yeah.
of competition. So yes, I don't know who that pitcher is, but if we can get a hold of a pitcher, but I think also next offseason there is a fuck ton of pitchers becoming free agents. Even
Oh,
better
see,
than
I thought
this
it was
year.
the opposite. That's why I was bringing it up.
No, like Zach Wheeler's coming off the books next
He's going to
year.
get extended.
I mean,
I hate
maybe
to say
I'm
it.
just naming names, right? It's him. It's
Yeah.
there's someone, one of the I think Max Fried is becoming a free agent next year. There's like five
Already.
good
Wow.
guys. There's like five good guys that are
Okay.
all like, yeah, he didn't give him the maybe he'll get extended for sure, but for 7 years, $7, and
By the way, the other Acuna is not feeling so great.
he's getting his knee checked out. Yeah,
Aw.
and then did you
But
see the
also,
young?
like, McNeil's hurt.
Yeah, McNeil's got a bicep thing. I don't know, man. We'll see.
This is
It's
not
gonna
a.
be a very plotting. Like it'll
Yeah.
probably be a fun, scrappy year because the team's probably gonna play hard, which is good. We like those.
It's an
teams.
underdog team, and I
Yeah.
love rooting for underdog teams. So
But our starting pitching is like a fucking.
It's kind of butt.
It's 5 fifth starters. We were talking about this the
Yeah.
other day.
Well, no. Okay. Let's calm down on that. Severino
No?
does need to step up this year.
I mean,
He's not a fifth starter.
If Severino
if he's healthy.
pitches to what he's known he could do in the past, then no, he's not. But as he's currently constituted and what he's done for us lately, he's barely a fifth starter. Adrian Hauser is a fifth starter. Jose Quintana is a fifth starter. And fucking Tyler McGill is a fifth
I don't even
starter.
like Hugh that much, but like
fine.
when he pitches, it's like it's
he's
3
a third
point
starter.
low.
He's a 2. He's a 4. He's not a 1
So
or a
no,
2.
I'll be real with you. You're right. He's a third or fourth starter.
Yeah, he's a junk ball lefty. That's what he is, and he's 37 years old.
and
Manea's,
Severino pretty much are third starters. I agree.
Right,
they're not fifth starters though. So yeah, it's.
I don't know. We'll see, dude. We're gonna be sending.
This is
Jose
Luis's
Quintana,
year to shine. Yeah,
we're gonna be sending Jose Quintana up on opening day to fucking pitch against like Zach Wheeler,
Max Fried, Spencer
Max
Strider.
Fried. Right, like
Yeah.
we're gonna lose. That's the problem. Is like there's no pitching pools against us. Like we're sending our best guy is even on a good day going to give up 3 or 4 runs, and if we're going against a guy that's going to shut us down, that's how we're going to lose a lot of games 4-2 this year, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, look, that means you think the bullpen's going to be a lot better.
I do. Our bullpen looks great right now on paper. Now that we don't have Edwin Diaz coming back from like a World Baseball Classic.
You okay? So is the edible kicking in?
Oh man,
yeah, I can't see the comments. No fair. Are you guys fucking making fun of me?
Oh no, Rosen. I don't know. Rosen's just talking still about draft. He thinks the Jets are going to take Bowers, which I don't think they're going to do. I think that would be the most Jets thing to do, and they won't do that. They're going to take an offensive tackle, or they're going to take a wide receiver. They're not going to take Bowers.
You guys should totally take a running back.
Yeah, first round running back. When we have like the best running back in the NFL right now,
yeah.
let's draft one under like his rookie contract. But let's draft a running back in the first round.
You can't have too many.
That would be a very Jets thing to do.
They are very difficult to find. If you have a top 5 pick, you're going to want to use it on a running back.
That was when we did that with Blair Thomas. That worked out so well. But yeah, man, I think with the Mets, we'll see how it goes, man. If we can pick up someone in season and trade some of these gluttony of bats, then that's great. I say do it as long as it's not fucking Williams or Gilbert. Everyone else is on the table, right?
As a deep-pocketed team, I think you can't discount Montgomery and Snell until they're signed. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
If you can, I don't want Snell because he's the opposite of what we want, and he's very up and down. Yes, he won the Cy Young last year, and he's won the Cy Young in both leagues. But he's also in between those Cy Young years.
He only costs money.
I know,
it's
but no,
kind of crazy.
He
and I'm
costs a
talking
draft pick too. He costs
and
a
you know,
draft pick too.
oh no, you're right. He does have the QO on him. They got.
I don't know if Montgomery does.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I saw Kike Hernandez pretty much say it out loud. He thinks there's collusion going on right now. I think I agree. Like, you see all these guys who have established themselves only get minor league contracts. It's like the middle class has been hollowed out. I think that's what he's saying, and you're seeing it here. Chapman just signed, but like he's supposed to be one of the bigger bats. Like, this used to not happen. It's March, and the two biggest pitchers on the market haven't signed.
I think a lot of these guys are going to, like, how many of these guys are Boras clients?
Yeah, and Boras is certainly a factor, absolutely.
And so he has learned that, just outweight the market. You don't need to be there the day pitchers and catchers report.
They're playing chicken.
They're playing chicken, and these guys are going to get paid, and some of them might get 1-year pillow contracts. But Chapman just got a 3-year, $54 million deal. That's not pennies, right?
It's not. But what I'm saying is this fight is happening with the top ones, and it's also happening with the mid-tier guys, right?
I don't think it's collusion. I think it's like
just managing your 40 differently.
Yeah, like, okay, Kike, you want $5 million a year to be our super utility guy. You're 36 years old. I got a guy that's in AAA that's 29 that's making the league minimum, and he's probably going to do with
like
the analytics
80% of your job, 90%.
Yeah, 80% of your job, right? So why am I going to give you $4 million more?
Fucking computers, man. Baseball used to be fun.
Dude, I mean, it still is. It's just different now. It's like the nerds have won, the analytics have won, and that's who's running our team now too. So look at it from that aspect.
It sucks for continuity. Like, I used to know every baseball player. Now there's I played that Immaculate Grid. I only played like 80s and 90s players because I don't even think about this era.
Right.
Because everybody is just like,
I don't know anymore. But
I couldn't play fantasy right now.
No, fantasy baseball is fucking too much to begin with. Too much.
Yeah.
But to your point, man, I think it's like, it's the war. Like, if you're playing at a replacement level and you're getting a 0.2, if you have a 0.2 WAR, like, why would I overpay for you? I can replace you with
because you have service time, right? Like, it used to be, that's how it worked.
Right. But now I got a guy in AAA who's 24 and, he's going to probably produce 80% of what you're doing for a league minimum. There's all these fucking luxury taxes. So there's teams like the Dodgers who are going to sign Kike Hernandez because they want to make sure that they have insurance because they've invested a lot of money into this year and they're going to compete for a championship. But if I'm the Mets, in the year that I'm having, why would I sign Kike Hernandez for $5 million?
And I'm not saying I think the Mets should have gotten
fucking Joey Wendell for $1 million, right?
Which, again, why did they jump the market on Joey fucking Wendell?
I think they wanted a guy to replace Guillorme.
Yes, but there was I can't think of the guy, but like it ended up like the guy who was 3 times better signed for like twice as much, like signed for $2 million. You know what I mean? It was that thing where like Garth Snow got Marty Reasoner on day 1 of free agency.
But I think what they wanted with Wendell was a better guy, like late inning.
Oh yeah, Urshela. That's right. Urshela signed for like 2.
To who though? Who did he go to?
Like San Diego or Twins. I don't know.
And is he starting or is he?
I think so.
Guy? Right, he's starting. So we needed a guy who is going to be like the caddy. Like you may get the fucking third base job if these guys don't work out, but you'll be our utility guy. You'll be our late inning defensive replacement.
All right.
You'll be our fucking.
And he was runner. The best one available.
He was probably the one that was willing to take $2 million and could fill all those holes for $2 million. That's how I look at, man. Joe, I don't give a fuck about Joey Wendell. He's a serviceable guy. He can play second, third, and short. I guess he's a really good base runner, and he's above average with his glove at those 3 positions. So, all
right. Well, I'll leave you with this. Are we back on the Brett Baty wagon? Are we giving him another shot?
I've never gotten off the Brett.
Never got off it. I thought you did,
man. No, he had a rough year.
You
last
thought
year,
he got called up too early. I think you were right. I guess.
I did. I think that we could have given him a little bit more time last year in AAA to do his thing. You know, he came up and I think he won the job out of spring last year,
He did.
right?
Well, no, he tore it up in Syracuse for like 2 weeks, and they brought him up.
Okay, and then that's
Like
when
tore it up,
they
right?
traded Escobar at that point, right? And so
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
don't know. I think between him and Vientos, let's see what we got.
Might as well.
I think Beatty's got a big league bat. I think he's never gonna be a Gold Glove winning third baseman, but I think he'll be serviceable. He's
He's
flashed some
24 or
motor.
25. He
I
could be
don't
a good
think
trade
he's
piece
even
too.
that old, bro. I think
Yeah.
he's 23. Let's look that up real quick before we sign off here. But are you back on the Brett Beatty bandwagon?
I want to be. Yes, I want to be. Um, and I was.
He is
It was
24
just
years
such a
old.
rough year for him last year, where it looked like it got into his head.
It
Some
did.
like
And that's why you
some
don't rush a guy like that.
some like plays in the field. Like I think that took away from his strengths at the plate. Honestly,
Right.
so
And we had a lot of pressure last year coming off a playoff
yeah.
appearance, expecting to compete again, signing Justin Verlander, and you threw this guy into the hotbed and he did okay and then he didn't do okay and then he was up and down and like just give the guy the third base job, let him know it's your job to lose. Don't fucking, don't let the defense get to you and go out there and do what you've done throughout your entire career. You were a first round draft pick
Nice,
and
man.
you've hit at every level you've hit at. Go do it.
I think
Same
we're on the
thing with
same page. We always, both of us, and everybody out there, let's remind ourselves it's not always a linear progression with prospects. It's not only with teams. Look at the New Jersey Devils this year; they're somehow worse than the Islanders. It's not always a linear ascent. So
no.
I'll leave you with that little bit of optimism for the Mets.
Yes. So, are we going to talk any Islanders or
Oh, if you want to, yeah.
real
I
quick?
think I think
You
I've.
had some thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
Oh man, I got a lot of thoughts. I mentioned this last night, and this is going to be instantly out of date as soon as we post this, because 3 hours from now they're going to like trade way too much for like Adam Henrique. But I told you last night during while we were watching the game or texting, I guess before you went into the concert, uh, Patrick Waugh was not just brought in to recharge the team as a head coach, but maybe to help with some of the front office stuff. I know he had both jobs in junior. Maybe it doesn't translate completely, but Lou is on record as saying, I don't believe in selling. And if you look at his career, it's kind of true. Like he held on to those Devils teams way too long. His record in Toronto with that was kind of shady as well. And we're seeing it here. This roster is all extended to hell. All like everybody's in their 30s and has many, many years on their contracts, right? I'm not telling you anything new. Patrick Waugh might have a different view on both how to do that and this roster as well. And what I'll say is that what he's done with these new lines, and I know it's only 3 games, but these new lines look re-energized. They put the best 3 players on the team together on the first line. That's pretty cool. And it's 5-on-5. It isn't working totally yet. But let me get to, and that's Brock, Bo, and Barzy, obviously. But the second line with Pageau, Lee, and Palmieri kind of went off last night, right? Natural Hattie for Kyle. These 3 guys, they would be smart to trade right now to get out of those contracts. But if you're not going to do that and you're going to fucking quadruple down on this roster, good job, Patty Waugh, finding these lines. And then the third line, Cizikas, Engvall, and Holmstrom looked outstanding last night as well. And the 2 wings on that line really have been really ineffective this year, 5-on-5, despite the numbers you see with Holmstrom. And I think Engvall's been a disappointment. So you're seeing a different team. And also,
who's the fourth line now? Is that
it's the coach's son centering Martin and Clutterbuck or whoever.
McLean is still on the team.
And so Ali is basically done.
Uh-huh.
He's on the roster.
So let's see him get dealt at the deadline for whatever we can get.
If they could trade Pageau and even Nelson, and I'm saying that Nelson could bring in a haul right now. He's got 28 goals. He's got 1 more year left on his contract, which means that a team that's going for it should be interested in that, because it's only like $5 million a year or $6 million. And the Isles can help with that. I mean, this is a perfect time to kind of retool this team. Yes. Are they going to do it? Probably not.
So to your point, I've been reading a lot that the succession plan is for Wah to move into Lou's seat.
I said it the first day. Remember that? It makes sense.
And then the guy he brought, his like number 2, Benoit something or other, is going to take over as the coach. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's going to happen this year or next year, but like, you know, Wah owns that team or a part of that team up in juniors, and they've won the cup like 2 out of the last 4 or 5 years.
It's juniors, but yeah,
it's still
they've been excellent.
It's the same. Like theoretically, it's the same job, right? Like you're still recruiting players. You know, it just comes with more money, right?
You're installing your systems. By the way, their breakouts looked so much better last night and this week. So by the way, Scotty Mayfield not being in the lineup.
Yeah, so that's the other thing.
Big help.
Unfortunately, we have 6 more years of him, but I don't know. I guess he can be our 7th defenseman because he's only making like $3 million. So maybe we can find a team we can dump him to. I don't know.
I don't know if you saw this, but he deleted his Instagram after the Rangers game. And he did. It's possible he's going through some stuff, and maybe it started with an injury, but like, he might not be in a good place.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But
so anyway, it's going to be an interesting week because there's 2 ways they can go here. They can keep, putting money down on this bet to relive 2021, right? Or they can, do some smart things.
I would like to see them move anyone that they can move to the point that we've discussed, right? Yeah. But I don't want to buy. So I'm totally fine if we just stand pat. Or
I am too.
If we move Wahlstrom for like a 3rd round pick, or we move like some ancillary pieces just to like get them off the roster, get a little salary cap relief, and fucking, people that aren't going to help us after this year. Like
it would help to get rid of Term too, but I'm with you. If they just do nothing.
If they just do nothing,
that helps too.
Right? I'm fine with it, but please don't go trade your 1st round pick for something like.
Don't trade a 1st round pick for a 30-year-old guy or Tarasenko and then extend him for another 5 years. That's how you kill a roster.
Right.
Stop doing it. Lou.
We've known. Well, Lou is 82.
No.
We've known that this was going to happen. We just thought it would happen next year, probably, and it's happening this year, and it started happening last year. And I think with Barry, when Barry left, and I think, in retrospect, I don't think Barry wanted to be here any more than Lou wanted Barry to be here. And so
you don't think Barry wanted to be GM here?
I think now that we're seeing what actually happened, I think maybe he wanted to get out of coaching and move into the front office, and Lou was like, well, you're fired. You need to coach. And so let me fire you.
It's that, or he always wanted to go to Nashville or go home.
I mean, he went home to roost, and he's doing a good job down there. Yeah. I mean, he's proven that he wasn't wrong for wanting to do what he wanted to do. But I think that was the beginning of the end with especially this roster, because this roster was built to be a grinding team. And now we're trying to play a non-grinding game with a grinding team. And yes, we have some players that can play a non-grinding game, but most of our players need to play a grinding game. And we need to fucking keep the shots out of the center of the ice, and we need to fucking grind teams down.
Which they managed to do last night for the first time in a long time. Sorokin looked himself, but they only gave up 22 shots. That's huge for this team.
That's been what Waz said since day one. We need to reduce the amounts of shots that we
Lambert was giving up 40 plus every night.
Every night. I mean, it was like, Ilya, stand on your head back there, and we're just going to try and outscore him.
And not just like shots from the point, like consistent slot opening, like it's just a disaster.
Which was Mayfield's problem. So maybe you're right. Maybe Mayfield's going through something. Maybe take the rest of the year off, get your head right.
I think that would be good. Yeah. And by the way, and if you are selling and if you aren't adding, let's see a couple of the Bridgeport kids. I want to see this Iski kid.
Yeah, because he's already talking. He's going back to Russia next year if he doesn't.
See, if we don't, what are we doing? We don't have any prospects. Like, Give some people a chance.
Who else do you want to see from Bridgeport? You know more about Bridgeport than I do.
I would give Robin Salos some play. You know what I think they're doing with him? You know how they kept Aho on like one-way contracts but never played him for like 3 years? He's probably the new Aho.
Because Aho is a free agent after this year too, right?
So, yeah, or he might have one more year. I forget.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he can be retained, but you know. You could probably slide Salo in.
Exactly what we just talked about with Kike Hernandez.
Oh, and Bolduc. Bolduc needs to play.
Right.
And honestly, if you're not trading Wahlstrom and you're not going for it, he needs to play too.
Right.
Anyway, it'll be interesting. If they win 3 more in a row, I'm going to be wearing my Islanders gear next show.
Back in it.
There it is.
And we can trade this guy too, you know? That's another guy.
Please. Oh my God! In a second to the Coyotes.
He's got 2 or 3 years left, right? So.
But like Kyle with the natural hat trick last night, send Palmieri out. Yeah. It won't hurt. I mean, it won't hurt, Lou.
If you can trade that whole second line,
yep,
and just get whatever you can for him, do it, right?
And you could get a haul for Nelson. I think
you could get a haul for Nelson. I think you can get a decent. You know, Palmieri is a playoff proven guy. Yep. If he goes to some team to be on their third line, he's not going to, you know, break anybody's bank.
He needs to play with skilled players, but he does here. And, you know, he's got 40 points?
Goals. Yeah. He's fine. So, you know, we'll see what it brings, but no Adam Henrique. If that happens, Doug, we are having an emergency pod and it's going to be burn.
Yeah. And we're drinking tequila and whiskey and punching things because again, they haven't made a first round pick in 5 years. What the fuck?
What the fuck? The whole time Lou's been here. So it's been a good show, Douglas.
It has.
What do you got to say?
It's good to be back, and I did not study for this. Vaya con Dios.
We're gonna put this one out into the universe. Vaya con Dios, Kyle Palmieri, JG Pajot, Anders Lee, maybe Brock Nelson,
Scotty Mayfield.
And Scotty Mayfield. All right, guys. Audience, it's been great. We'll see you.
And Tommy.
And drink. All right. See you guys next time.
See you guys.
All right.
Good
What do we want to call this?